projects are starting to roll out. We concluded those that have already been put out. And now we're looking at, from a time frame, where we're headed. So, as an example, let's pick an island. Let's try Lanai. Okay, on the island, again, the same breakout by the island. You can see that there's a total summation of the number of projects and the dollar amount on the island. And again, on the bottom, you can call by department, cost, and the construction start date. So let's see what these look like. Okay, so what you have are the individual listings of the specific project. So you can find out exactly what the project is, what the agency's accomplishing the work, and when the project would be put out. So the project status code is that indicator as to what time frame the project or the activity would be accomplished.
The projects listed for my county are diverse. There's airports, harbors, highways, schools. So this is a balanced, I think a real balanced look at providing opportunities for all sorts of people in the sectors, from architects to engineers to construction work to interior designers, whatever. So that it's going to put a lot of people to work, and we really need to have that, as you all realize. So I think it's great that we can come together as counties and work with the state and get these projects out so our people can get back to work and our economy can start to be stabilized. Thank you.
I think it goes without saying that we all recognize the challenging and uncertain economic times going forward, but what I'm proud to stand here as a part of is a great collaboration and partnership among everyone, our legislators, our executive branch, and across the counties, to not only stimulate our economy, but keep our families working and employed, ensure that the quality of life projects across the board throughout our communities aren't just planned and designed, but actually implemented, and alleviate a lot of concerns in our growing populations in our rural communities.
I'd like to thank the governor and the state legislature for funding these projects, and our congressional delegation for their support and advocacy. Government must do its part in getting us through this economic storm, and we're committed on Kauai to do that.
Talk about what can we do, bring more money into the state, and bottom line is to create and sustain more jobs. It's all about jobs. It's about putting our people back to work, about having them be able to sustain their families and their lifestyle. And so we are so pleased to be involved with this, and want to commend the mayors, the governor, the legislature, and all of those people who have been able to bring this together, because we all are in this together. So let's don't forget that. The key here now is to get this done. Get it done, and get it done as quickly as possible. Thank you very much.
You can't have a healthy economy in Hawaii without having a healthy construction industry. And right now I think everybody realizes the challenges that are in front of our local economy. During the last protracted recession Hawaii experienced during the 90s, the size of the Hawaii Carpenters Union went from 10,000 members to less than 4,000 members. And during that time, our membership had the opportunity to go out of state to places like Las Vegas and Nevada to work. But unlike that recession of the 90s, the global recession that we're in right now does not provide those same opportunities. So it's really incumbent upon all of us in the room, government, business, and labor, to really work together to ensure that these projects get put out on a timely basis, and that we start that flow of dollars back into the local economy. No other industry in Hawaii represents the type of multiplier effect and ripple effect that the dollars generated in construction represent. I think, as it was mentioned by a few speakers previously, the size of our membership currently not working is growing by the day. On the Big Island, we have nearly 65% of our membership currently unemployed. So these projects are going to have a direct impact, a direct stimulus on our membership, and it's certainly something we welcome in very many ways. Having said that, this is just the first step. We're getting to first base today, and this was a Herculean effort to get us this far, just in terms of pulling all of the information together. So I'd like to thank the governor and all of the mayors for their leadership on this effort. And as we continue to work toward getting the projects out on the street, labor. We stand by to support you in every way possible. Thank you.
I would like to applaud the governor and her team, Brennan, Barry, and Micah, that has really dug in to help support our economy by pushing these jobs out. And yes, it is about jobs. On a daily basis, as labor management of what we represent in the operating engineers, the hardest thing that we can try to say to our membership is that everything is going to be okay. And when we say Mele Kaliki Maka and Haole Maka Hiki Ho, the membership come out and say to you, what's so merry and what's so happy without work? Because I'm losing my home, I don't work anymore, especially for 6 months. But what the governor has put together with the strike team has really uplifted our membership in our industry. It's sad to say that there is a crisis out there, which is jobs. But I think so behind of all that, there's a bigger crisis, which is our social families that are being torn apart because there's no work. When there's no money that comes home to the family, that's when crisis starts. And I think the governor and her team has put something very important to these working people's lives. So I comment and I applaud the governor and her team, Brennan and Barry and Micah, that you folks are all thinking about saving families and their homes with these type of projects. Mahalo.
The Hawaiian Building Trades Council applaud government's well-timed stimulus plan, especially when the private sector construction markets are declining and employment opportunities in our industry are being reduced. This collaborative initiative between federal, state, and counties will concentrate on the much-needed public infrastructure work that will vastly stimulate our local economy, creating new jobs and providing immense value and benefits for all of our taxpayers here in Hawaii. Thank you very much.
We're talking about housing and better schools, better transportation systems to meet the needs of everyone in the state of Hawaii, not just the people in the construction industry in the state of Hawaii. And so I hope everyone understands that that's who will benefit from this, in addition to those of us that are directly in the industry. And we certainly applaud the government, state government in this case, in putting together one source of information for all of the upcoming project opportunities while we've developed relationships with all of the departments in the state and have information on their projects. This is the first time that we've had one source available to provide that information for all of us that are interested in providing construction services that meet the needs of the state as least expensively as possible. Thank you very much.
As Bill Wilson said, never been done before like this, and it happened over a very short period of time, and everybody was under a lot of pressure to get this done and get it done now for the reasons that Kyle and Buzzy and Perry and Bill mentioned, and that is because it's about people, it's about real families. And when I talk to our team, I don't really talk about it in terms of CIP or projects. I talk about it in terms of your neighbors, your friends, your family. Not one of these projects will be stopped because of financing on our part. That's the bottom line. And that's why we ask for the county's assistance, and I'm glad that the chief made this point. This is a two-way street. They have projects that they want to get out too that are very important to them, whether fire station, a community center, a road project, and oftentimes it can be us that's holding up their projects. So we need to be working on both sides. But the reason we ask for priority processing from the counties is because I can tell you if we have our permits in place, we can pay for this project. Whereas in the private sector now, it's going to be more and more difficult to get financing. That will not be an issue with the government.